Hello, dear viewer or viewers. I wanted to do another round of Dream Entry ASMR videos again. I apologize for the late entries, as I've been very busy in my life lately with work and other daily activities, such as errands and whatnot. My life has been pretty busy lately, especially around the holidays. It seems like our lives we get caught up in like family gatherings and like getting stuff done for like Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we don't stop and realize that time seems to accelerate around this time of year. And it's like, things just kind of, it's like we go from like Halloween to like New Year's, and like, I don't know, like less than like a few days, it seems. But anyways, I just wanted to come back and do some more of these. I took a break because I wanted to focus on, ASMR videos, like traditional style ASMR videos. Plus, those videos seem to get more views than these. But I do kind of want to make more of these. That's an interesting idea, and yeah. So this next round of Dream Entry ASMR videos is from users on Reddit. And if you would like to get yours featured on this channel, then just head over to r/patches_dream and then _entries. And I will probably provide the link too, in case anybody wants to get on there and share their dream stories. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get on to the first entry here. So this one was written by Sensing Light on Reddit. An alien encounter dream I had. I wanted to share a dream that I had on New Year's Eve this year. It started out with me talking to two of my guy friends. I don't remember their names, but they had told me about how they shared the exact coordinates of Earth with an unknown alien species to facilitate contact. In the dream, I was pissed. How could you do that? You don't know where they are from, what they will do, how they will act, etc. I lived on a big house that resembled an oil rig with a daughter as well. Interestingly enough, the aliens began to come. With that, though, I started encountering a strange phenomenon. My psychic abilities began to increase. I could see things in other places that I had never been. And I started to create some sort of power with it. My daughter as well began to start manifesting powers. I felt as if it was my duty to take down these aliens. I was able to conjure up some psychic beast, or psychic blast of energy, and remote view basically. One day, the alien ship began to descend from the sky, and I could see in the ship 6 beings who all looked similar to regular humans, but their skin was all colored differently. There was a pure white, a pure black, a red, green, and a blue and orange one. For me, I found it interesting to note that it contained similar colors to the Palestinian and Israeli flags. My daughter's power was that she could create fear in people using her psychic energy. As I battled them, we used our respective powers, but to no avail. They also ended up destroying my home. So after, I started meeting people with similar phenomenons, noticing the aliens. My daughter had a best friend who had claimed she was brought here by the aliens and related to them. It was interesting. Something to note is when I would meet someone who knew of the aliens, we all decided to wear orange, subconsciously. We were also all starting to prepare for it. Also, in my dream, I had been journaling and encountering people who had also been journaling. We were all called to write stories and had been writing almost identical ones at that. Eventually, a whole crowd of people came together. We were all lined up when the ship finally came down. There were families, nurses. Hell, even a man escaped from jail came. Also, the closer the ship got, the weaker my psychic abilities became. We were all in this neighborhood, and the ship had descended right above us, and this pod dropped down. And in it was a fabulous party. There were humans in there, drag queens and the like, all celebrating. I was freaked out. A staircase dropped down, and in the excitement, everyone quickly went inside. It felt like I shouldn't, but it felt like I became compelled to go with them. I didn't want to partake in any of the food or drinks, but was eventually kind of force-fed a drink and ended up passing out. I woke up, and there were people around, talking, and I was oh my god, no, where are they? Because basically, there were no aliens in the ship, and I didn't really know what was going on. Anyways, one of my main premises in the dream was that I really wanted to engage with these aliens. I wanted to see them, I wanted to face it, sort of head on. So I started to walk through the ship and kept getting pushed every which way. White hollow walls began to manifest all around me as I walked, until I was eventually teleported back to the original room. This is when I finally encountered one. She wasn't any that I had remote viewed in the beginning of the dream, though. She was entirely light purple pink and had a long pig-like nose. I remember just being kind of flabbergasted and just wow, that's it, that's the alien. Question mark. Then she released this insane scream. It was unlike anything I'd ever heard before. It was so intense that I passed out and again woke up on the ship, but this time in a bed. After that, I somehow was easily able to get off the ship. I felt honestly so powerless. I concluded that the psychic phenomenon that I and my family had experienced in the dream was a direct result of the aliens themselves. That the very reality I believed I had power in was completely in control and malleable thanks to their advanced technology. I was like, okay, that's it. And it was this sense of wow, they really had no ill intentions, I suppose. Or at least it felt that way. I had sensed within myself an indignation of this encounter has nothing crazy except for, hello, they're mimicking human hedonism as a sort of a connection and calling card to interact. To let us know that they were completely involved. The strangest part of the dream was this. There were people who were asked to stay with the aliens on the ship. People separated from their families to stay on this ship, my daughter included. I ended up leaving with these 4 groups I had met along the way. The ship disappeared, and we just stayed on Earth, and we're in this rural neighborhood. And that was what it was. And then they give a TLDR, basically a summary. Friends give out Earth coordinates to alien species. It causes a surge of psychic phenomenon. I go to the ship and find out the aliens control 3D reality with their technology. Whack. But that was really cool. I went ahead and I upvoted that because I liked that story. It was a really cool in-depth dream about alien abduction and crazy alien beings that you meet. And I've had these before, especially lately. It's like the older I get, the more I start having these like these complex like dreams, and sometimes they'll get so complex that it'll be like reality breaking, almost like kind of like this, where you meet like an interdimensional alien species or something that's like beyond your comprehension. And sometimes I'll have the dreams where they won't speak in English, obviously, because if you think about it, aliens, if we ever meet aliens, they're not going to be anything like us. They might have certain attributes and certain things that might be similar to us, whether it be they're bipedal or whether they have like certain attributes like a nose that looks kind of similar to ours. They're still not going to be anything that we can. So the thing is, if beings from another planet come to our planet and visit us, I try to be optimistic about this, but if they come in like groups, they're not going to come with good intentions. I would like to think that they would be nice and they would come and they'd share all their knowledge and they would, we'd have a big party together, but that's not exactly how things are going to go. Especially if it's a species that is very competitive, like us. We are human beings. We are a very competitive species, and we will take whatever we can get. And if we come across another species that is like that, they're going to wipe us off the face of the earth, or they might enslave everybody. But anyways, I thought it was an interesting dream. Just the fact that he was talking about he had a daughter in this dream, about how they have these psychic abilities and how they can see the aliens or the beings, and they can, they can somehow find them with these abilities. And then they end up on like this big alien ship, and with a big group of people that have the same abilities, and he finally meets one of these beings, and I guess they have like a pig nose and stuff like that. It's interesting because what we perceive as an extraterrestrial being, we could think of all kinds of things. Like, our imaginations could go wild about these things. Like lizard people, reptile beings that come from another world, or whether they be, like this guy or this person in their dreams that they had like a pig nose and stuff. Like maybe there are certain things like that you could conjure up. And the reality is that we won't know exactly what another species or extraterrestrial beings will look like until they get here, or until we see them. And that also leads me to the idea that if they come here, they're probably going to be wearing suits, so we won't see their faces, because our atmosphere will probably not be they probably won't be able to handle our atmosphere. You got to think, these are beings from another world. These are beings that they came from a whole different world with a whole different set of chemicals in their atmosphere and a whole different set of slew of different things going on their world that they've adapted through thousands of years, maybe millions of years, depending on how long their race has been around. And you got to think that these beings they're not going to be equipped to handle our atmosphere. And they might have like some special suits that they can wear they can breathe their air, their chemical makeup of their air on their planet, and that they'll only be able to. And the interesting thing is language. That's another very interesting fact about extraterrestrials is language. They're going to have a totally different language, one that no human has ever heard, and they probably would, maybe depending on their physical makeup, maybe they have like different voice boxes. You have to think about that. Like, they're not going to have human voice boxes. My ears get ready to kick on. It's going to get a little noisy, but you got to think their voice boxes are going to be different. They might communicate in like a series of clicks or something, or like some kind of like noise that they can make with their very different vocal cord makeup, and it's going to be very different from what humans are used to hearing. I don't know. I've rambled on long, and I don't know. This whole thing about aliens like fascinates me. Like, I love the idea that our universe is so vast and is so huge that it's likely that there are aliens out there. Like, I'm not negating that there are no aliens around. Like, I just don't believe in the whole, like, they're here. They've been here for hundreds of years, and that I just don't believe that. Like, I feel like if they are here, they would have made their presence known by now, and that they would have, I just don't think they're here. But I do know that I do have a very strong feeling that they are out there somewhere beyond the stars. Who knows? Maybe there's a race out there that's kind of similar to us. Maybe they're behind a few thousand years, and maybe they're still in their tribal era, kind of like off of Avatar. Maybe they're a few hundred, maybe a few thousand light years away from us, on another planet somewhere. It's just fascinating to think about extraterrestrial beings and how different they would be from us, about how different their world would be. And believe me, if I could travel to some place like that, I would, in a heartbeat. I would love to go visit an alien world. I'm sure 99% of people can agree with this. Anyways, I hope you found this story interesting. I've rambled on long enough about aliens. And, yeah, let me know what you thought about this one. I'll be back again with another one. Thank you for listening or watching.